This is the highlight reel of my trip to Italy this past April with my course class. I included all of my favorite places and parts of my trip in this story. While I was working on this project, I had a hard time finding exact locations for certain places because a lot of my photos did not have coordinates built into the photo. Besides that, I was able to tell the story I planned on telling. Italy Trip 2024. First up is the Venice Canals. Venice is made up of over 150 canals that go between the islands of Venice. The islands are connected by bridges, or you travel by boat to get everywhere. The Grand Canal is the most famous canal, and it separates the city into two parts. Piazza San Marco was the first place we went to when we first arrived in Venice. St. Mark's Basilica is in the square along with the Doge's Palace. The Doge's Palace was where the Doge of Venice resided when Venice was a republic. Every room is filled with artwork and is home to the Bridge of Sighs. Prisoners walked over this bridge when they were going to the dungeon to be killed. It was their last view of the outside world before they were killed. It is said to hear prisoners sighing when they were walking past because it was their last view. On our second day in Venice, we went to sing in the Church of the Pieta, also known as Vivaldi's Church. This church was built between 1745 and 1760, and it is filled with murals on all of the walls. While we were there, we sang 5 songs for the community in Venice. The next day, we traveled to Florence. On our first day, we went to the Academic Gallery of Florence, and this is where the famous original sculpture by Michelangelo is on display in this gallery. When you walk into the gallery, it is on a podium in the back center of the room. It was fascinating to see all the other artwork in this gallery besides the David sculpture too. There's the David. On our second day in Florence, we sang in a church called the Basilica di Santa Trinita. This is one of the oldest Gothic churches in Florence, and it is filled with murals on all the walls, and there's a lot of stained glass windows. Next up is the Ponte Vecchio. It is the oldest stone bridge in Europe, and it was the only bridge spared from destruction during World War II. This bridge was our main meeting spot during the time we were in Florence because most people can find their way back to it. The next day, we traveled to Assisi, and going to the city of Assisi was by far the best part of the trip. The city is built into a mountain, and it is exactly what you would picture Italy to look like. We toured the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi and shopped in the stores along the road. After we left Assisi, we headed to Rome, and we walked through the streets of Rome to get to the Trevi Fountain. Legend says that if you throw a coin over your shoulder, you will come back to Rome. If you throw 2, you will get married in Rome, and if you throw 3, you will get married to an Italian man in Rome. The next day, our final full day in Italy, we went and toured the Colosseum. The tour guide said that cats usually hang out at the bottom and lay on the rocks in the sun. It was cool to see it in real life and not just on postcards. The final place we went was Vatican City. We went in the Vatican Museum, the Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica, which is where the Pieta is on display. Thank you.